I was one of those people that wore my lanyard on my neck, as you should, actually. You should wear your lanyard on your neck. But anyhow, wore my lanyard with my ID on it every day to school. That led to quite a few students assuming that I was a teacher. That inherently is a double-edged compliment because, for one, I was like, oh, wow, I must look so smart. But on the other hand, it was like, oh, wow, they think I'm old enough to be a teacher as a freshman in high school. Okay, now you must be wondering why I'm wearing this blazer. Basically, the topic of this video is speech and debate, and this is a part of what you would be expected to be wearing at such a competition. At least, well, some kind of variant of this anyway. Okay, now that I'm out of the uptight vest, let me go over the 3 categories that I competed in extensively over my 3 years of failure in speech and debate. First, we have National Extemporaneous. Second is Original Oratory. And third is Original Prose and Poetry. I will also be explaining what these categories are and how I did not assume correctly or did enough research regarding those categories before diving straight in each time. Let's bring it back to 2015. I think that's when I started freshman year of high school anyway. And during that year, I was still trying to figure things out, and I was like, okay, you know what? I can join speech and debate because I heard good stories about what it does, and I think the skills you can learn from speech and debate really apply well for you later in life. I was also in the creative writing club for a decent portion of my time in speech and debate club. So I was kind of wedging in creative short stories written in third person, by the way, into a speech and debate fashion. My first competition was the spring something, and basically we did a round robin style of competition, so people could just go around to different categories and figure out what they wanted to do. I tried all of them, of course, as a freshman. That's what you're supposed to do. And I thought to myself, as soon as I saw National Extemporaneous, that it was a great fit. Simply because I could carry up a note card, whereas other categories, while impromptu had that feature where you could carry up a note card, there was less time to prepare. So after that first competition, I asked my speech and debate coach. He was like a charming man, by the way. He's very cool and chill with a lot of things, and he's helped me out a lot throughout these competitions and everything. So I'm very grateful for him. And he basically stated, hey, if you want to do national extent, then I have these magazines, these Times magazines that I can just hand off to you for every competition. I went to these competitions with all of these magazines, pretend these are magazines and not composition notebooks, and I would be sitting there with them perusing through, trying to find any articles among the other fashion-related or celebrity news anyway, about the political issues that were mentioned in the 3 options I was given. Meanwhile, my competitors would have laptops. And after 3 competitions of that, I was like, hey, this system is not working out because, for one, the Time magazines that he was receiving were just outdated in the sense that he was receiving them weekly. However, these topics at these competitions would always be updated to the latest news, and I wouldn't ever really have enough information or evidence regarding those specific topics. Part of my downfall was just that I didn't sort through my like magazines beforehand, like make them ABC order or even just topic wise order. And I could have made like a sorting system that would make my local librarians, which I was friends with by the way, jealous. But I didn't do that. So it's all just like what ifs. I could have made it work. I think at that time I was like, no, that time investment is just not worth it. So I decided to give up on National Extemporaneous. Let me tell you about the story about my OO experience. So the whole premise of OO is kind of writing a piece about how to better society. You comment on what is a problem in society, what we could do about it, and promote maybe solutions. I can do that. That sounds great. I can just do my English essays and probably rehash them. The thing that turned me off at the end of the year was the fact that for me, I did not like original oratory being restricted to just society. So many different topics I wanted to talk about and also write about. By the way, in the future, I will probably share with you guys a few of my English essays. Whenever I was writing anything, especially for class, I always wanted to make sure that teachers would always be enjoying the experience of reading my essay. If you're gonna do this tedious task of reading through all these essays, at least mine might be interesting and entertaining to read. For me, I did not really make like good arguments sometimes, but to say that my essays were not entertaining would be pretty much a lie. Back to my troubles with OO. That's basically what it was. I felt very restricted with the limiting societal goodness part of it. I decided instead, okay, let's find a different category. I found OPP, and OPP is original prose and poetry. I was thinking OPP was just like a more free-form version of OO where you can basically talk about anything. It's like similar format and you just basically have a standard speech, but you can do anything basically for topic-wise. I was wrong. I was wrong. Because on paper, that's what it seems like. However, when you go into actual competitions, everyone in OPP are like full-on acting mode. Every single facial feature, movement, and gesture, they make sound effects. That's impressive. That was not good for me, but that's impressive. For me, I personally struggled a hell of a lot because I was like, hey, I don't like acting. I think I'll just go at it. I'll do OPP the way that I want to do it because the way I wanted to do it wasn't illegal. It wasn't against the rules. As I mentioned in the very beginning, where I was talking about my creative writing club, I had influences of very esoteric styled writing. And so for me, my fiction pieces are out there. I had a few very odd pieces written even before I decided to use a piece for OPP, which is the one with the rat swallowing thing. That character also, by the way, he basically like looked like a creep, acted like a creep, and always looked down on the street and like saw people walking by and was like, I like what I see. It was interesting, I would say. Some of the ideas and thoughts I had for my themes and stuff probably weren't fleshed out enough, but I think I was going down a decent path. If you think that I went up somewhere maybe middle rank for like these competitions, like somewhere maybe third out of like a group of 5 people in each room. That's how they were divided basically at competitions. You got split up into different rooms, and then at the end you get a total tally of what your scores at each room was after like 6 rounds basically. I was always rank 5 out of 5. Well, except for like a few times where I was like rank 4 out of 5. One of them was because someone was not showing up and was sick. Still, I got 4 out of 5. For my next 2 videos, I'm gonna have how to have hand-me-down fashion and also how to stress bake.